Episode 4. We're back. We're back. So if you missed the other episodes, you got to go back. So we're Secure Pay Service. We are a credit card processing mega company out of Miami, Florida. We do POS machines. We do payments, cash registers, all that. And today you're watching episode 4 of Beyond the Register with Jorge Mesa and
Freddie Castro.
Freddie the man. The man with a plan. The man with a plan.
The man with the plan.
So today we wanted to bring you guys a webinar because we feel like there's tremendous value in these webinars. And business owners can use it. Business people, employees can use this. So we want to share our 20 years of knowledge of marketing, payment, business consulting, all today's show. And
not just for our current merchants. We're also doing this for merchants that don't process with us.
Yeah.
So we're an open table here. So whatever you guys, if you need, we're here to answer any questions.
If you guys need anything, whether it's consulting questions that have nothing to do with payment, give them their phone number.
It's our local number here, George, is 305-307-8530. Or if you want to call us toll free, it's 833-SEC-PAY.
One.
Right.
SEC-PAY 1. Okay, so Halloween just happened.
Spooky.
Spooky. So we're going to pop up that webinar.
Let's pop up the webinar.
Yeah, so let's actually go to the next slide. So the premise of today's show has a lot to do with Murphy's Law.
Okay.
Spooky things that can happen to your business with payment. And we've seen these are actual things that this is not make-believe. These are things that we see and it happens whether it's a client of ours or not a client of ours. It just happens. So going to the first slide here.
Let's do it.
The number one out of 6. So the number one spooky thing. Payment not going through.
George, that's a big one. Oh my God. Well, there's a few things here. I actually got like 5 points on this one. We have the batching issues. You know, some machines are set up on auto batching, some are not. The employees knew they don't know the batch machine, which is also called a settlement in the industry, which means if the machine closes or does a settlement, it sends a signal to the bank, it closes the batch, you get the deposit the next day, you got your money. Guess what? If that's not set up right, you're not getting your money. And another thing on top of that, to make it worse, that if that batch sits in your credit card terminal or your POS more than 3 days, your rate goes higher because it buckets into a different tier. So you want to, stay away from that. You don't want to get that phone call, oh, by the way, the machine didn't batch, I'm going to pay extra. And say, no, with us, that doesn't happen. We normally put you guys on auto batching. Or it depends the type of business that you're in that you don't need that. POS systems do it automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. But that's a big thing. Again, kind of one and two there because you have the employee human error also. So it could be something with the employee that's new, didn't set it up right, or just didn't close the batch machine or not. Also, if the device is broken, obviously it's not going to work. With us, we do give out backup systems. We have inventory. So if you go down, we can replace the equipment within a couple hours, which is very simple. We do that with all our merchants. It's a backup system. And also is the internet. If the internet goes down and you're on a Wi-Fi machine that's on wireless, good luck. This is not going to work. Again, we also do the backup systems, and these require a SIM card. So you put that in your cabinet, you pull it out of your drawer, whatever you have it, and you can still take a payment, and you don't have to close up shop and leave. Which happened to us with a client yesterday, actually. His internet went down for like 4 hours. I don't know if you heard about something in Homestead. Something went down, and he was like, Freddie, I'm like, hey, go look in the back. I have a machine there for you.
Yeah.
He was ready to process, so it worked out great.
Yeah, and to me and I've seen the list because, I was part of creating the list of the 6 spooky things that can happen with payment. This is probably like my second scariest on the list. There's one that's going to trump this. This is my second one. And I would say that because you're losing money. You're like losing revenue. Yeah. So let's just a scenario. You got a new employee. They don't know what they're doing. And it's a restaurant or it's whatever. They gave a product to someone. They put it in. The person left. They didn't do the payment. So you lost money. And sometimes this is a lot of money. Yeah. And this economy and this inflation economy that we're in, losing product and losing services and not being able to pay and all that, it's detrimental to the business. Okay, so that's my second scariest. There's one that's really
scary, George.
It's pretty scary, but there's one on the list that I'm like freaking terrified on. Okay, so we talked about the broken machine. This is another thing, part of payment not going through. The machine's broken. Okay. So in the next slide,
slide number 2.
Spooky number 2. 1-800 number sucks. Go ahead.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, sometimes you call these numbers, you're either getting somebody with like heavy accents or you have a bad connection. And lately, I mean, sometimes the merchants call in, and I'll take a call because, I'm here. I'm here to help everybody, just not just, people on the team. I'll take a call, and I call these people, and it's like, you can't, I guess they're working from home, and they don't have a back connection, and it's like, you have to hang up, call back. And we do all these things for you guys, by the way, so you don't have to suffer on the phone. Normally, we have all the people ready to go. We merge in the calls, or if it's going to be through a video. But yeah, a lot of wait periods too, George. I mean, those 1-800 numbers, I don't agree with those. Even though we do have one.
Yeah,
but ours is because, we answer our phones here locally, and you're not going to be waiting on hold. So yeah.
Yeah, to go off on that, let's paint the scenario. People are visual people.
All right.
Let's paint the scenario for you guys at the house or in the office. You have a cash register at your establishment, and there's 10 people in the line, and the machine breaks. Something happens at that moment. There's 10 people there.
He's freaking out.
I mean, honestly, my nervous system would start kicking in at that moment. Adrenaline rush. So you're like, okay, who do I call? There's a 1-800 number for this machine.
Oh, Lord.
You call the 1-800 number, and you're on hold, and there's 10 people. So you finally get through. The 10 people are frustrated. 5 of them leave. So you lost 5 people right there. And the 5 that are there, they need your service. You're on the phone getting transferred to someone that you can barely hear them.
Yeah, it's
and in the accent thing, and it's normal. I mean, you get this for call centers. You call somebody, can't hear them, and you're freaking out. You're sweating bullets, and you're trying to get to the resolution. They just started or something. So they're giving you bad advice.
It's hit or miss.
It's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. So that is a nightmare. Let's go to the next spooky thing. The next spooky thing is going to be chargebacks.
Ooh, yep.
So Freddie, tell them about chargebacks.
Well, chargebacks basically, it's all right there. So chargebacks is like how you get the chargebacks. Sometimes you have the fraud. You don't know. Especially if you're taking a credit card payment online over the phone. You're not face to face with the customer. You're not looking at an ID at the moment. But all that stuff can be made up nowadays with all this digital world. But the chargebacks, we help you with that. There's a system that we have that you can actually go in and see when your chargebacks are coming in. It gives you a lot of time. It's very time sensitive to answer those chargebacks. Internet sales are on chargebacks. Another thing is a lot of people don't know, George, especially, some merchants who are starting a business and they're just starting. These chargebacks, they can hold them for 6 months. So let's say I process a credit card today for $1,000. 5 months from now, you get the chargeback. Guess what? You're not expecting that. And if you don't answer in time, they're going to take the $1,000 from your bank account that you can use to pay an employee or to buy inventory or whatever you want to do with it, marketing. So you got to be careful. The system here, Secure Pay, it notifies you if there is a chargeback coming in or not. So you got to take a look at that, and it's very important.
I always,
like you said, Murphy's Law. So
Murphy's Law. I've always So I have this personal theory, and I guess I'll say it on the show. So chargebacks have always happened. Always, it's always people that forgot that they went to that concert or that they stayed in that restaurant, and they call their credit card company and say, hey, that's not me. Right. There's always been that. But I think this is my theory. Ever since Amazon, and I don't know if you guys ever, obviously everybody's purchased from Amazon, but it's very easy to get a chargeback, to call customer support and say, hey, I never got this box.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And they give you your money back. So I think that kind of ruined the game, because a lot of people are doing that to small businesses. And they think that they're like an Amazon, that they could take the hit. And then all of a sudden you have a free piece of furniture that I forgot. Yeah, I did a chargeback, but it came. And then I get another piece of furniture or my money back. So I think it's created this whole notion that it's okay to charge back and it's normal, but it actually really affects these smaller businesses.
Yeah, you got to be careful, and it will affect you.
So from a consumer standpoint, like if you're buying from a small business, be very mindful that your chargeback, there's more to that than you think. It's not as simple like, hey, I didn't get this, I'm going to call and dispute it. You're actually probably hurting the smaller business.
Oh, most definitely. Now, another thing on the chargebacks, we're on this topic, George, here on slide number 3, chargebacks, is the high-risk merchants. So let's say you have like a hotel or some type of business that you're requiring a deposit. Happens to be you can't go, you can attend. What do you want to do? You're going to call your credit card company. You're going to charge back that deposit, which leads to high-risk merchants. Here at SecurePay, we can probably help you with that. That's another chargeback. I see it happen. We know we have those accounts that are high risk, and they send us a report every month. Oh, this company has couple of thousand chargebacks. We call the customer, hey, what's going on? Is it some type of fraud? Did you guys get a stolen credit card? No, it's just people, you know, they're renting or they're canceling the orders. So we see that too. We can always, you know, finalize and how we can actually work with that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen because nobody likes chargeback, you know, especially the merchant. If they lose out on the merchant, if they lose out on the chargeback, you know, they got to pay back the credit card company and lose that money. And you can lose a potential client too. So you got to be very careful when it comes to that.
And we were just talking about this couple months ago, right? We were talking about this thing that COVID really affected the travel industry. The travel industry for us to approve as a merchant was a lot easier before COVID.
Almost.
After COVID, and you had a lot of scared people, instead of calling the company and say, hey, what is your refund policy? Because I booked a cruise.
Right.
And obviously the CDC's freaking everybody out about this. And, you know, there's rightfully so it had COVID or whatever. I think that really ruined the industry tremendously.
Yeah, it's a 180 completely.
So many people were doing chargebacks to cruise lines and hotels and rentals, and rightfully so. And I think that became very hard for us to acquire a process that was seamless like it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sucked, honestly. And moving on from this, I do want to get to the scariest, spookiest. Here it comes. It's coming. So number 4 is account frozen. Tell them about that. That's spooky.
Account frozen. Let me pull it up here.
That is like the exorcist of things that can happen to your business because of payment issues.
There's a couple of things here. Actually, George here, having someone freeze your accounts. You know, it's like that's the worst thing. You wake up in the morning, your money's not coming in. What's going on? Am I going to still use a credit card machine and take payments? Am I going to get my money? So it's very tricky. It's a hard decision to take as a business owner, especially if you're relying on credit cards nowadays. 90% is credit card and 10% is cash.
Right.
When it was the opposite a few years back. But due to that, I mean, to get your account frozen again, it's like the fraudulent charges that you're not keeping a track of. It could be a new employee. Depending the type of industry you're in. Again, high risk. They'll freeze your account. Another big one is the high ticket processing. You get approved to process, $20,000 a month. You're a little retail store, mom and pop shop, and you did something great. Something's happening. You did some advertising, did some marketing, and you're getting all this new sales. And now you're doing $60,000 a month. And they say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? And sometimes they'll freeze your account on that. They're going to want some type of invoicing or some type of proof of what the business is coming from. Because again, the bank doesn't know who you are.
Right.
The bank is just going off paper, what's going on in the transaction with the networks, but they don't know what you're doing there. So they get scared. Like you said, we're on the spooky topic here. They get scared. They're paying you the money. They're running these credit cards and they're fronting that money to you. So, and you're getting the money the next day. Some companies pay you the same day, but they got to protect themselves too. So what do? They freeze your account. They want to investigate. They assign an investigator to your account. I've seen it taken up to almost a month.
Yeah.
For it to be resolved, and then you still have all that month waiting to get paid. Are you going to still take a credit card or not? So it's kind of tricky when it comes to that.
And you mentioned the bank account. So this is the scariest one that I was going to say. There are a lot of people that tell us, oh, we don't really need your services because we have Bank of America or Truist, and they're doing our processing, they're doing our POS. But what I would say to that is that if your account does get frozen because of the chargebacks and the fraud, guess what else gets frozen? Your deposit accounts, your business account.
Yeah, I could definitely run into that.
I wouldn't, I know it sounds convenient because you're already at the bank and they're asking, hey, do you need a processor? We do that. I know it sounds convenient, but it's going to, in the long run, bite you in the butt.
Right.
Because if something were to happen where your account got frozen with the payment processing, and then your actual business is tied to it,
oh, they'll close your account.
They're going to close your account.
Your account closed, and I've seen that in the past.
So a lot of people don't.
Horrible.
A lot of people think, well, I have a loan with this bank. They do my processing. I'm fine. That's a big no. This is what I would do. Honestly, I would do my banking with Bank of America, whoever, Bank of America, Chase, Truist, who cares? Wells Fargo, who cares? Contact us, and we separate those lines.
Exactly.
Because if one of them, something were to happen here, it doesn't affect there.
Right.
And that is, to me, the biggest, scariest one is the account frozen. And I mentioned this.
And then the account closure. That's like
the account closure, and then so whoever uses Square, Toast, all of these things at their discretion, they're going to be able to just guess.
Yeah, you're stuck with them, so there's nothing you can do.
There's been stories, and if you read the online reviews for these people, the 1-stars, you got a business that has been around for 3 years with Square or whatever, and one day to the other, their account's frozen.
Yeah.
And if you read why, it's because Square deemed your business to be selling, I don't know, a special tea that had maybe a little bit of cannabis oil. And because of that CBD oil,
you gotta be careful. High risk.
High risk. So now, because of that, they found it to be somewhere in your website, frozen
Instantly, without even sending you an email. You got to call the 1-800 number and see what's going on. It's ridiculous.
It's your day is ruined. Your weeks, you're ruined, and nobody has a plan for that. And you're thinking, well, you know, Square, and I have Toast, and I have all these. Not only
that, you're scrambling to get another merchant provider because you need to process credit cards. Like, what do you do?
You're scrambling, and you can't take a payment for the next 2-3 weeks as it's getting approved, and then the company like us has to vouch for you. And has to say, look, I know this is what you think they're doing with CBD oil, but they're not selling CBD. This just has to be a specific representation.
Yeah, something that brought it up, you know.
And it sucks, and it happens, you know. And you might think it won't happen to you. You have PayPal, you have even Venmo. Oh, I'm taking payments from Venmo. That's a big mistake, which I'll get onto the last slide. So let's actually get to the last slide. The last slide here is taxes. And I mentioned Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, peer-to-peer. Might sound convenient, but as you always know, what ends up costing nothing, it costs you in the long run everything. So, Freddie, talk to them about the implications.
Well, the peer-to-peer, I mean, if you're like a small, like very small company or small business or some mobile, it's convenient. Like you said, you know, you can say, hey, Cash App me or Zelle me or whatever. But when you're going to do your taxes, and again, small company, like saying like a sole proprietor, you know, it's just like a sole guy. You don't have any federal tax ID numbers, and you're non-corporation. Okay, I'm cool with it. But as soon as you get you're jumping on board, and now you got a federal ID, you've got articles in corporation, you're registered in the state of Florida, you got to abide by those laws. You know, you can still take a Cash App or a Zelle payment, but you need to take a credit card. You know, and especially. Whether your accountant could be an accounting nightmare. With us, we have this thing. It's called the RAP, the Regulatory Accounting Assistant Program. We charge you one time a year. I think it's like $90. We send you a 1099 of all your charges, where you've made on a monthly basis. Something you just get in the mail or via email through a security email. You give that to your accountant and do your taxes at the end of your corporate taxes. Or you can do it yourself. We don't even have to bill you that. You can do your own taxes. If you have an accountant on retainer, you just, you know, hey, by the way, here's what we sold this year. You can do it from QuickBooks. But we help you with your taxes. Again, you can't really, something comes in the Cash App. I mean, I take, once in a while, I'll take a Cash App payment, you know, or a Zelle, whatever it is. And it's like the name and the bank statement. And okay. So then you got to put a detailed description and what it was. And it's just, at the long run, at the end of the month, you're like, oh my God, it doesn't add up. It's like weird, you know what I mean? So it's like, you want to do the things the right way.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And if you look at the news, and I think episode 2 or 1, I've talked about the 86,000 or 87. Exactly. There's like 87,000 IRS agents that are.
You don't want to deal with that problem.
That are coming. And
it's so easy now. It's like free. You got the cash discount. You don't have to pay your fees. Like, come on, you know?
It's really about being prepared, and I know it sounds convenient, guys, at home, that you have your business is taking payment through Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle, and PayPal and Stripe. I know it sounds convenient, but when these things happen, it's not only spooky, it's really detrimental to the business in itself.
That you take effect to that, you know what I'm saying?
And
it hurts your family too.
It hurts everything that you're trying to build. You build a solid business, and to be destroyed by something like this is very.
I want to add something real quick. We just signed up somebody. You know, we're down in the Keys now, and we signed up a company. This guy, known him forever, good friend from high school, his brother, and. You know, I've been hitting this guy up. I know all he takes is Cash App and Zelle, you know, this peer-to-peer thing. I'm like, listen, I mean, come on. Like, what are you doing here? He's like, and we finally got him to sign up. He's now going to be doing the cash discount program. And he's like, he can't wait. He's like, oh my God, I can't wait to start advertising this. Like, we're taking it. Now you can put the Visa, MasterCard logo on his doors. Yeah. And it makes your company look bigger. Yeah. You know, more of a organization and stuff like that. And not just taking a Cash App payment. Hey, look, you want to do it? That's all you. But you want to go to that next level, you're going to have to start taking a real payment, which is Visa, MasterCard. All right.
No, I think that's the mic drop on that, because to be honest with you, like you're not giving your clients that warm and fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, right.
That you have the ability to give them the reward points on their credit card. So it's like, it's kind of weird. I will say this though, if I can give you an advice that's going to be very important for you, you have to plan your business to be a long-term business.
Right.
So if you're on the Cash App, have like a roadmap to get away from that within like a month or two.
Right, of course.
Like you can use it the first month.
Fine, exactly.
Yeah. The first month, use PayPal. Use PayPal the first month while you're getting approved for us on your merchants. Use it.
Yeah.
But phase out of it. Don't be the company that has PayPal collecting your payments 10 years later. Like, don't be that company.
It's all new.
There's no hindering on this. This is what we do for you. Like, if we're going to come in and be partners, you're getting the iPad. We're going to give you the tablet. We're going to give you the technology. We're going to give you the card reader. So there's nothing you're coming out of pocket on equipment for.
Right, exactly.
We're giving you the free equipment.
Right.
We're doing the application for you. So all we need from you is what they call the John Hancock, the signature,
right,
your voided check, and a picture of your driver's license to make sure it's you. And that's it. We're submitting it on your behalf. We're fighting for you to get approved. And once you're approved, you have this entire professional system that behind you for payment taking.
And not only that, the team too that comes behind here at SecurePay. It's just like, we handle from the beginning to the end, the learning curve. Hey Freddie, how do you do this? We get on the phone with you. We come by there. We're family. We're investing in your company too. We're investing in equipment. It gets expensive.
Yeah.
Depending the business you're in. If you're a high-end cigar store, you're looking at about $3,000 or $4,000 in POS systems. If you're a mobile food truck, you're looking at about $400 or $500 on a handheld device. So we're investing in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we're investing in you, we want you to invest in us. And that comes in our customer support, our team here, our sales reps, our technicians, our mobile technicians, our people on the phone taking the calls. It all boils down to that.
I will say, so going to the last slides that are coming up, the next one. So this is a thing that our competitors don't have, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. When they set up their business, they set it up to be one of two ways. Right. One, to do what's called cash discount, surcharging, dual pricing. Okay. That means that's all they do. They can't do what we do with traditional because they weren't grandfathered in.
Gotcha.
So the reason we can do so there's two options as a business owner or a person looking for payment processing. We're going to give you two options. One is called traditional. Okay. That you as a business owner, you pay at the end of the month for each swipe 2.2%. Right. You can choose that. But you can also choose the cash discount where the customer pays the credit card fee to Visa, MasterCard, etc. Right. So that you can have those two options. A lot of our competitors, I would say like over 90%, only structured their business to do it. They went all in on cash discount or dual pricing or surcharging because they don't have the structure to be grandfathered into the rate to make money. Correct. So their business model is heavily dependent on selling you, and some people aren't comfortable putting that on their customers. Right.
We've run into that issue a bunch of times.
And that's what we give the freedom to choose. Right. Choose 2.2, which is very low, or choose cash discount. But we can do both. And a lot of our competitors, they can only do one. So as we finish up here, if you're interested in the application process, first of all, call us. We're old school. We'll visit you guys at your location. As much as I'm a digital marketing guy and my background has been in digital marketing, we're old school face-to-face team of people. We have an application that we'll get to the next slide. So if you want to get on the application, simply go to the next slide, which is the website is go.securepayservice.com/Tribune. The last slide here will show you what it looks like. On that page, if you wanted to just do the application and not just talk to somebody, there's in that page, there's a step to go straight to the application. Oh, cool. Okay. So do the application and we'll go to your business. We'll tell you what you need. I think that there's really nothing hindering you from at least getting some inquiry and getting someone like us to come out to your business.
Yeah, some information.
Some more information.
I'd love to give that.
Yeah, and we give you some consulting too, because we don't want you to have your account frozen. We don't want you to lose in the chargebacks. We don't want you to call 1-800 numbers. We will do that for you. So these are things that if you're building a company and you don't have this already or you want this, we want to be part of that department that takes care of that for you.
Right. I agree with you, George.
Yeah, and that's what we built. We built a company that is just a solution provider, not necessarily a geek squad. That here's a tablet, sir,
See you later,
and pressing this button will get payments for you. And I think that's the disservice that we're seeing in the industry right now, is that you're seeing a Stripe, you're seeing a PayPal, you're seeing these Silicon Valley mega VC backed companies. And they're more introverted than ever. The whole process of business has been more introverted than ever.
Right.
And you don't get a person anymore. Remember that back in the days, like the 90s and the 2000s, you had like an account manager. And you had a problem, you went to your guy or girl.
You called that one person.
You called Lisa, you called Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you knew about their family.
Exactly.
And you knew about where they're from.
The good old days.
The good old days. And now it's like you got to call someone, and they changed the desk person like every 4 months.
Yeah.
The person changes.
Wow.
And you have to tell the same problem story 15 times.
Right. Oh,
and you're going on this loop. And I feel like it's where the industry went with automation and call centers, and it's to save. It's called cost reduction.
Right.
And the cost reduction has affected the customer experience. So when we were creating our business, we looked at it like, if Freddie and I can stay lean, we don't buy the Maseratis, we don't buy the penthouse, we don't buy these very unnecessary things, and we gave a lot of that business ROI that we were making back into the customer journey.
Yep.
We build a solid business that makes us happy and makes the customer happy.
Not only that, the customer is relieved because now they don't have to spend all this money. It's everything. And there's no catch here, guys. We just want to come in, help you guys. Obviously we want to do your merchant processing. That kind of pays the bills around here. And, we just want to help. We just want to come in there and see what you guys need, be here for you guys locally, and just with open arms, like I say,
Yeah, and I think this show is
have the freedom too of whatever you want to do.
This show was probably it was important for us to make, because a lot of people don't know how scary.
Yeah,
these things. They think you go to like PayPal.com or you go to Stripe, and you have like an instantaneous account. Right? And you're like, okay, I'm good. I have my accounts. Now on to the next thing. What else do I have to check off my list?
Yeah, let's make this fun again.
And then one day your account freezes, and it's really scary.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about this. I don't see this anywhere. All I see is the marketing side from these companies that are like, within 15 minutes, get your account. Yeah. Right? That's
how they get you.
That's how they get you. Don't let convenience stop your business from growing the right way.
Correct.
Don't get lazy. And
let's make this fun again, because normally you walk into one of these businesses, you mentioned merchant processing, they're like running out the front door, like, oh my God, no, I don't want to talk about that. We're not here just to do that. We're here to help, the marketing, the omni-channel, what's new in the industry. If you don't come with us, it's fine. It's not a big deal, but at least you've learned something that day,
And I think the last thing I will say is that we're very passionate about innovation. The coolest thing is being a millennial and, seeing the Gen Z and all this. They're using their Apple Pay, their Apple Watch to pay at a Starbucks for coffee. So that's pretty cool, because the future is going to be you're out maybe jogging and you didn't bring your wallet, and you go to a Starbucks to get a tea, and you just pay with your watch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the future, and don't be left behind.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, you're going to get left behind as a business owner if you're not on top of these things.
The other guy that has it's going to take the business away.
The other guy that has it. It's always the other person that has that. They're going to beat you, and they're going to eat your lunch, and we're the type of company that wants to be part of that team on your side that's going to make payment happen. So that was our show today. It's playing off the Halloween that happened a couple days ago. It's the spooky things that can happen to your business with payment. My name is Jorge Mesa. This is
Freddie Castro. It's good seeing you guys, talking to you guys today. I hope you learned anything. Again, if you need any information, you can always call us at 305-307-8530 or visit our website at www.securepayservice.com. We can schedule a meeting, a booking, an appointment, whatever you guys want. We can come out to you, help you with your current processing, or sign you up as a new business. And we tell you what you need because we know the industry.
And we want to get you guys to work, because if you guys aren't working, then we're not
processing.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.